Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic astrology. And if you are new to my channel and if you want to learn Vedic astrology step by step, join my free workshop for 3 hours. And if you're looking for readings and consultation, check out my website for the same. Today we are going to talk about Saturn's combustion and its impact on all the ascendants. Okay, so those who are watching it live, can you please confirm if audio and video are okay? Yes. Great. So if you have any question around it, you can always ask after the session or during the session, you can put it here. Okay. So we'll be covering all the ascendants and what exactly happens during this. Okay. So let's look at the yes, it's founder of self, can't wait, yes. Claude Salvador, I hope I have pronounced it right. Yes, welcome. Kathakali Banerjee, welcome. And Lisa, all good. Hello everyone from Vancouver. Yeah, thank you. And those who are joining, welcome to this session. So before we jump into the effects of Saturn combustion on all the ascendants, I want to tell you about when it started and when it will end and what exactly are the effects of this. Okay, so it has started on 17th of February and it will last for almost a month, around 33 days it will last. Okay, so what exactly is combustion? Combustion is set, or it is also called as asta. When a planet goes too close to sun, it becomes set, it becomes asta. Why? Because it goes too close to the sun, which is bright, hot, and powerful. So whenever you have any planet combust, mostly it is all about the conjunction of sun with that planet. Let's say you have Mercury, which is asta or retrograde. So what it means is Mercury is really close to the sun. So that's why whenever you are judging any conjunction of sun with any planet, you have to keep in mind about the combustion. Okay, and you should not confuse this with retrogression. Retrogression is the apparent backward movement of planets. It's not related with the sun, but it is with the respect to the reference point. It appears that those planets are moving backwards, but they are not moving. We talked about it in our retrograde video. So if you are interested into it, you can always go and watch that. Now, let's say Sun and Saturn conjunction. So one of the interesting thing about Saturn and Sun conjunction, yeah, before I forget, I want to show you a slide from my course, from my 33 days Vedic astrology boot camp about the about this conjunction. Okay, if you can see this, these are the, I hope you're able to see this. So if you look at this, each planet has a difference of degrees. each planet has a difference of degrees with sun to consider it as combust. Okay, so let's say Mercury is 14 degrees, Venus is 10, Mars is 17, Jupiter is 11, and Saturn is 15 degrees. Okay, so this is also important. And if you look at this picture, this is by far the most important uh, diagram, I would say, for you to understand the uh, phenomenon of combustion as well as the retrogression as well. These are the points. Okay, so here we are standing on the earth. Here you would see I have written we are standing on the earth. Let me see if I could make it. Hello. Yes, can you see it now? Okay, so you would see that this is, you would see I have written you standing on earth. Okay, so this blue line is your horizon. So black line is a prime vertical. Okay, this is a line which goes through the zenith, through the horizon to the netter. Okay, and these green line is a zodiac. Okay, this is where the ecliptic circle is. This is where the planets are revolving. And why this is important? This is where the planetary degrees come into picture. Okay, and then you would see the intersection point of the horizon blue line, the prime vertical the black line, and the orange line which is an equator. This is called as the east point, and that's where you see planets at the backdrop of this east point on this green zodiac belt. And that's where combustion happens. And combustion is astronomical phenomena. So don't look at the conjunction, don't look at the combustion in the Varga charts. Okay, the retrogression and combustion happens only in the D1 chart. This is an astronomical phenomenon. Okay, so this is where, so the degrees of the planets will tell you what's happening in with the combustion. Okay, so this is the concept of the combustion. And now let me tell you something about Sun and Saturn. Sun is the planet which represents self and a soul. Some of the friends give too much importance to sun sign. Like, sun is important and signs are revolving on a tropical zone, but each planet has a sign. Moon has a sign, Mercury has a sign, Jupiter has a sign, Rahu has a sign. So sun also has a sign. Now, sun is all about self. Sun is about the soul. Sun represents self-esteem, power, leadership, and things which are central and which are governing. Okay, this is the importance and the signification of the sun. Sun gives you the clarity. Imagine there is a darkness and you throw light on it, you get clarity. Then you see things clearly. The visibility is also can be seen with the sun. And what is the signification of Saturn? Saturn is the planet of darkness. Saturn is the planet which is about the is about the distrust. Okay, Saturn represents the lack of trust, be it on yourself or someone else. Saturn has a hard time trusting people, and sun is all about believing in yourself. The self, the soul, self is all those self defining things can be seen with sun. And Saturn is always doubtful. And Saturn is the planet of work. Saturn is the planet which rules the darkness. Can you see the difference and the beauty? Sun is ruling the Leo, and Saturn is ruling the Aquarius and the Capricorn. Okay, now these two planets are coming together. And when these two planets come together, it's not only about the conjunction, but it is also creating a combustion. One of the impact of Sun and Saturn conjunction is these people are ready for hardships, because the planet of hardship is conjunct with the self. So this discipline and hard work is embodied into their soul. They are ready to work hard. I've seen people with Sun and Saturn conjunction working hard. And one of the downside to this conjunction is you might have a challenging relationship with your father. By the way, those who don't know, Sun is the father of Saturn. What? Yes. You won't believe, we always talk about Saturn as a planet which is all about the discipline, work, and success, money. The in numerology also we connect number 8, which is connected to uh, Saturn, which is about organizational skills, financial skills, success, building something bigger in life. This is what uh, the number 8 or the Saturn is all about. Now, this Saturn, this Sun is the father of Saturn. Okay. So, what he does is Saturn is about consistency. Saturn is his father in consistency. You would see sun comes every day. Like our life on earth is because of the sun. And the sun we see in the sky, there is a deity associated with that sun. Okay. And all the Trinity also lives on that sun. And sun is amazing. You should watch that. uh, the symbolism of sun with a beard to the sun. You would see a beard to the sun. If you look at the Egyptian sun image, you would see a beard to the sun. And I was surprised when I saw that first. And let me see if I have that image. Okay. So when I look at that, I could see that he has a beard. And then I saw a sunset. When I saw a sunset, I could see sun on the edge of that horizon, and I could see a beard like thing on the ocean. You should definitely check that out. Okay, that is amazing. Now, we know what sun is all about. We know what this Saturn is all about. Now, what happens when this conjunction comes in? The planet of health is conjunct with the planet of diseases. Okay, so when these two planets come in, you have to be really careful with your health. You cannot ignore your health. And depending upon the sign and the placements, involvement of the 6,000, all those other health defining parameters, you have to take care of this planet as well. Okay, and when it comes to the career, this is an excellent placement. Whenever you see a person with Saturn and Sun conjunction, oftentimes it is considered as obstacles, and ongoing struggle with the government. You might see this conjunction with the freedom fighters who have been sentenced for life, or maybe they have gone through a lot of troubles in their life. You would see this Sun and conjunction into the freedom fighters chart, and especially with the Virgo sign, or maybe with the sixth house associated with it, even intensifies this experience. Now, let's talk about the combustion. So, whenever a Saturn is combust, it simply means that wherever the house is placed in, whichever houses are associated with it, it just it just makes those houses vulnerable. Okay, now let's look at, I don't want to go from Aries to Pisces because then it becomes boring and monotonous, and those with Aquarius ascendant or Pisces ascendant get bored, right? So I want you guys to put in which ascendant you want me to start with. Just put in name, where whichever names I will see more of it, I will start with that. Okay, we have to do this exercise. I want you guys to be involved into this session, and and type new if you learn something new today. Okay, I want you to write new if you learn something new today. Okay, which ascendants we have to see? Trina says Aquarius, Lisa says Gemini, Claude Salvador Libra, Leo, Libra, Gemini, Virgo, Gemini, Leo, Aries. Okay, so I think we should start with Leo. There are more Leos, but I'm going to ask you again and be ready. Okay, so I'm just going to start with this. Wait, let me start this. Go to the window, and then I'll just. So I'm just going to start. I'm just going to rotate this to Leo Ascendant. Okay. Now, Leo Ascendant, if you look at the Leo Ascendant, this is ruled by the Saturn is ruling the sixth house and the seventh house, and Sun is ruling the first house, the ascendant. The ascendant lord is coming into the seventh house, conjunct with the seventh house and the sixth house. So when Saturn becomes, this is a classic lagna. I always feel that because this is the only lagna ruled by Sun. Whenever this is the thing with the Leo ascendant. Whenever you see these people around, you cannot ignore them. They are people who would influence you, who would make you believe, and make you uh, make make you uh, feel their presence. You can't ignore them. Okay, but more than that, look at the conjunction of Lagna Lord with the seventh Lord. So Lagna is ascendant is Sun, which is about light, and the seventh house is about Aquarius, about letting go, and is ruled by Saturn, and is also involved with the sixth house. So what it shows is this seventh house becomes vulnerable for these people. for these 30 days. Okay, usually I don't like to make transit videos because transit videos, you know, transit videos are important. I'm not saying they are not important, but you have to see and analyze them thoroughly, like we are doing right now. Okay, why? Because first thing, we have to see what exactly is happening in that, and more so, we can't just generalize it. Okay, so now let's get deep into this. We are not in a hurry, so we are going to analyze this, and we are going to record as much information as we can. Okay, so first lord, seventh lord, sixth lord into the seventh house. So seventh house becomes vulnerable, and what it shows is struggle in the relationships, some ego battle in the relationship, some responsibilities coming into the relationship. Those responsibilities may be burden, or maybe something to do with uh, relationship, and also how people look at you. So this is the most important take home message for the Leo ascendant. Okay, those who are Leo ascendant, if you have any specific question around this, please ask. And also, um, also let me know if this resonates with you, and if you could see or sense this is coming. I want Leo ascendant people to respond to this. If you don't have any question, then we are moving to the next. Does Saturn also lose its power here? Yeah, but see, okay, it's a good question. Founder of Self is asking, does Saturn lose its power here? This is tricky question. Why? You would see that Sun is powerful, and if you look at the degrees of the Sun is 3, and degrees of the Saturn are like 14 degrees. Okay, so ideally it should lose its power, but guess what? If you look at the sign placement of this house is Aquarius. So in this conjunction, during this conjunction, this Saturn has an age. Why? Because it's in the seventh house. In the natural horoscope, the seventh house is ruled by Libra, which is the sign of exaltation for this. And more so is also in its own sign of Aquarius, which is also giving more power to the Saturn. Okay, seventh house is also considered as the descendant. Like first house is ascendant, seventh house is descendant, the seventh house, right? So that's where the darkness is. That's where the sun sets. So now sun sets into the seventh house, and that's where the Saturn starts ruling the darkness. So in this case, this Saturn is getting a power. Okay, but maybe few years down the line, when let's say Saturn is in Aries after 5 years, and you have Libra ascendant, and then you have Sun Saturn conjunction in the seventh house, then Sun becomes powerful. You get me? Now, let me have some questions with Leo ascendant. Let me check if I have any friends asking for the Leo ascendant. I'm being mysteriously poisoned because I can easily influence people. I dedicated my life to expose intelligent network being. Yeah, I'm a Leo ascendant. Yes. What is the question? I think I tried to answer this one. I have a question as a Leo ascendant, Leo moon. When will stop being mysteriously poisoned target for unemployment, character assassination? For this you need to look at the whole chart. You can't just rely on one placement. Will this create any problem in marital relation? No, that's what I told you, right? This is going to bring in a lot of responsibilities with this, and the ego clashes with the partner. But as Saturn is having an age because of its good dignity, I think Saturn has an intention and ability to sustain the relationship more than breaking it. It is more about trying to sustain the relationship. Okay, so the problems and challenges would be around the relationship in the form of more responsibilities. So Sarasati people will have a magnified time from Saturn. No, it has nothing to do with the Sarasati, right? Only those with, let's say, Aquarius moon or Capricorn moon or Pisces moon will only be under the Sarasati right now. Okay. So does it affect Saturn's 3, 7, 10 aspect? I didn't get your question. Do you mean if we have a aspect with the combust planet, will this affect? Or you mean if you have an aspect on this conjunction? Okay. Leo ascendant with Ketu, just lost my job 2 weeks ago. Any hope for stability? Also, I'm in my Shani Mahadesha. Okay. Diptiji, this we have to see your chart and dasha. Okay. It has nothing to do with this combustion. Let me tell you. This transit is only for 33 days. So don't get scared with this. And I want you to journal. Okay. All those who are listening right now, and if want to really make a use of astrology in your life, make a difference in your life, I want you to journal. I want you to record the moon nakshatra of that day, and what are your experiences. And also during this transit, I want you to observe for yourself. Just take a screenshot of your ascendant, irrespective. I didn't say your chart, I just said the birth chart. Right now, those who are Scorpio Ascendant, they can take a screenshot of this chart, and you can, just look at, observe yourself. This is most important because a lot of you may not feel what I'm saying right now, and it's completely normal. Why? Because there are so many aspects which are working at it. Okay, then you will ask, what is the point of looking at all this? Okay, so what it does is the it gives you the idea, it gives you the direction. But each chart is unique, and each chart is unique at each stage. For example, Leo ascendant, a person, let's say, maybe going through a Saturn's Mahadasha right now, or maybe Sun's Mahadasha, or maybe not going through any Mahadasha of Sun and Saturn. So this conjunction won't be that effective, right? Let's say he might be going through the Mahadasha, and that's why he's feeling energetic. This is also possible. Okay, we talked about energetic, and someone asked here. Yeah. As a Leo ascendant, I feel very, very energized and motivated. So, if you know your dasha, would you like to share it? Okay. So now we are moving to the next lagna. So, what is the next lagna? What is the next lagna you want me to look into? We started with Leo. Ayappada says Virgo, Aries, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Only one. Okay. So first we will do the Libra and then we'll cover the next ascendant. Okay. So let me just make it Libra Ascendant. So what I did, I just rotated the chart to Libra. I casted the chart for right now and I rotated it to Libra. Now I could see all the planets and all the planets for the right now. Okay. So now I see that Sun is ruling the 11th house and Saturn is ruling the 4th and the 5th house and is placed into the 5th house. Now, for Libra ascendant, you will feel that you would feel struggle in your love relationships because Sun and Saturn brings in that challenges. It makes you work towards something. Okay, but again, if you are in a creative field, this will give you rise in your career, this will give you more creative ideas, you would be disciplined regarding yourself. Okay, the planet of self with the planet of discipline into the 5th house of higher self, intelligent self, and more so is about your heart matters, about your love and romance. Okay, but it also makes you intelligent. So whenever you have these placements, you would feel, you would come up with the intelligent ideas, you would be able to create something intelligent. Okay. So yeah, and if you look at this, Saturn is a very good planet for Libra ascendant. That's also we have to see. Okay, we saw in Leo ascendant, the Saturn is ruling the 6th house. Okay, but for Libra, Saturn is ruling the 4th house, which is a Kendra house, and a 5th house, which is again one of the Lakshmi houses, or which is one of the trinal houses. So it brings in positive energy about that houses. Okay, so house number 11, house number 4, and house number 5, these three houses get uh, activated during these 33 days. Okay, and more so when we are judging this this combustion, you should also should give importance to other important transits as well. Okay, when I say other important transits, it's the transit of Jupiter and Rahu. Okay, I don't like to consider the transit of Mercury, Venus, Sun, Moon, because they move fast. What I feel the important transits are the transit of Jupiter, transit of Saturn, and transit of Rahu. Okay, now let's look at the questions. Okay, so Libra ascendant friends, do you have any question around this? Like, do you resonate with what I said? Okay, and you may not resonate and you might feel, oh, I don't feel anything. If you feel like this, then check out what are the dasha you are going through, because dashas are far more important than just transit. Don't just get caught up into the transit all the time. Okay, don't watch transit videos. Okay, don't watch transit videos. Again, don't give too much importance to transit. give importance to dasha, give importance to the natal planetary placements, give importance to yoga, give importance to the conjunctions, aspects. These are more important than transit. Okay, so the moment you start giving importance to these planets, you would start making progress in your astrological study. Okay, now, anyone with Libra Ascendant, do you have any questions around this? Otherwise, we are moving to the next Lagna, which is next Lagna is what we are going to look into, the Aquarius. No, it's Virgo. We are going to look into Virgo. Let's jump in Virgo. Okay, so let's look at this. For Virgo, you would see that these planets, these people are having Sun and Saturn into the sixth house. Okay, so what I could see with this placement is uh, you have to be really careful when it comes to your health. Okay, or you would start some new health regime, new health routine, new health, maybe diet, maybe something, you would switch to more healthier options. You would analyze something about what is good for your health, and also what is good for your health in your routine, because sixth house is also about routine. Okay, and when this combustion comes in, combustion makes this house vulnerable and activate this house. Okay, now right now Jupiter is not going or aspecting this house, but sometimes it happens that Jupiter is aspecting this conjunction or any other conjunction, then it becomes important as well. Okay, so yeah, the point of action or the point of concern or the point of uh, combustion for Virgo ascendant people is the sixth house, but this would be very good for your work. Okay, you would get rise in your work during this time, because Sun is a dushtana, like a malefic planet, and is in the sixth house. Like Saturn is also a malefic planet and is in the sixth house, so it's good. Okay, so now we did Leo, Virgo, Libra. So what is the next? Okay, Aries. Let's go to Aries, and then we'll move to Gemini. Now we are going Aries and Gemini. Let's look at them. Let's look at Aries. Okay, now if you look at Aries, you would see that this conjunction of Saturn and, when Saturn and Sun is into the 11th house. Okay, Sun in the 11th house is a very good placement. Okay, these people are these people are loved by their friends. They have very good friends. They're famous in their friend circle. Okay, and Saturn is all about the humanitarian actions. When it comes into the 11th house, it's not just about Saturn is not only about that. Okay, and this is directly aspecting the Leo. So the fifth lord is conjunct with this, and if you look at the lordship of these Sun and Saturn, Sun is ruling the fifth house, and Saturn is ruling the 10th and 11th. So the fifth lord is conjunct with the 10th lord, and is into the 11th house. So, what it shows is this will, uh, give you some gains through your career, through your hobbies, through your creative pursuits. Yeah, and this is a very good combination of the fifth lord and the 10th lord, two of the most benefic and powerful houses. They are getting conjunct into the 11th house of 11th sign of Aquarius and in 11th house. Okay, I think we have some questions around the previous lagnas. Let's go through them. My Saturn is in Aquarius in fifth house. I felt 30 years of my life limiting. I think these coming years will be breakthrough. My question: how many years will exit my first cycle in Saturn? That you need to look into. Like first cycle, you just go to your birth chart and just check the degrees, and then you would know the exact cycle of the Saturn. Okay, and at what age you are going to have a Saturn return, you would be able to get that. Okay, moving to the next question: is this combustion going to affect Saturn's aspect as well? No, it won't affect the aspects. But what happens with combustion is, whenever a combustion happens, those planets are not at their full strength to give effect of that Varga. Okay, that is precisely the prediction and the effect of combustion for all the planets. Okay, what about combust Virgo as Lagna fifth lord? Okay, that's what we did, right? Let me just go through. Yeah, you know, when you have Virgo ascendant and fifth lord is going into the sixth, what happens is fifth lord is the lord of your love and romance, and now the planet is going into the sixth house of enmity. Okay, so you might have some differences or arguments with your loved ones. Okay, or but this transit is just for 33 days. That's why I'm saying it as an argument and not something uh, which would separate you from your partner. Okay, I hope this has helped you. Now we are moving to the Gemini Ascendant. Guys, if you're learning something new about how to analyze this, please type new. Explore by Surjit. I'm Aries, Saturn in the 10th with Moon studying CA, but I'm not thinking about job. I'm thinking about my own firm CA practice. Could Saturn in the 10th house make me self dependent? Yeah. Saturn in the 10th house is one of the aspects of you being able to do your own stuff, and is a prominent aspect. But again, I always say never judge or never uh, make a prediction based on just one placement, no matter how powerful that placement is. That won't help. Just because you have Saturn in the 10th house doesn't mean you will have your own business, and you will have, yes, those who have business will have those Saturn in the 10th house or the third house or the sixth house or ninth house. But again, this is just one pointer. Then you have to go deeper. You have to see the lordships, you have to see the chart, and then whatever is promised into this chart, you would see whether it has been fulfilled into the chart or not. Okay, now let us go to the now. Yeah, I want you to tell me which ascendant now we are going to look at. I think we did Leo, Virgo, Libra. I think we missed the Gemini. Yeah, let's do the Gemini. We did the Libra already. So now we will do uh okay, yeah, here it is. It is. So for Libra ascendant, Saturn is getting combust into the ninth house, is ruling the eighth house, and Saturn, the Sun is ruling. Saturn is ruling. Excuse me. Sun is ruling the third house. Okay. So what it shows is, again, Saturn is such a mysterious planet. If you look at Saturn, the whole space of Rashis is owned by Sun and Moon. Okay. This is the beauty. Okay. If you look at the sequence, okay, now just look at the sequence. This is the sign of Leo in third house, and this is the Moon. If you just go one step behind the sign of Sun, is the sign ruled by Mercury. If you go one sign ahead of Sun, you again see a sign of Mercury. If you go two steps ahead of Leo, you go to Libra, ruled by Venus. If you go two steps behind the Moon, you go to Taurus, which is ruled by the Venus. If you go three steps ahead of Leo, you reach to the Scorpio, ruled by Mars. If you go three steps backward from the Cancer, you reach to the Aries, which is ruled by Mars. If you go one, two, three, 4, and 5, you go to the Jupiter. If you go 5, you go to the Pisces. Okay. And seventh from the Sun is Saturn, and the seventh from the Cancer is also Saturn. And that's how the sky is occupied by these Sun and Moon energies. Okay. Now, when it is happening in the ninth house, what it shows is, it shows you would be working on longer projects. You would be working with some deeper projects, which will make you work for longer hours, which will be about religion and spirituality and higher belief. Okay. And again, this is the ninth house, Saturn in its own sign, right? Amazing. So now, Saturn in the ninth house, Aquarius, conjunct with Sun and Mars for Gemini. Is this good time to higher education in foreign universities? Okay. Whenever there is a question of when, it's always about dashas. Okay. I cannot emphasize the importance of dasha in the prediction, or reading the time. Okay. It's not just, the events are triggered by the transit, but are the concrete uh, assurance of that is by the dasha. Okay. So if you want to know more about this, go and check your horoscope with dasha, what's happening in. Okay. And then you would know if there is any association with the 12th lord and or the ninth lord. Then you would know if this is the right time. Okay. Now let's move on to the Scorpio ascendant. Let's do that. Okay. So now for Scorpios, here they come, Scorpions. So if you look at this, Scorpio, the Saturn is ruling the third and the fourth, and the Leo is ruling the 10th house. So if you look at this, this is ruling the 10th house of your work and fourth house of your house. So what I could see with this is you would have some challenges with respect to your home environment. Okay, you may not get enough sleep, you may not be able to take rest in your life during this 1 month. Okay, and just journal it down how this period is going, and also journal about what are your dashas, so you would be able to come to certain conclusions. Because Saturn in the fourth house, Sun in the fourth house, see, fourth house is the house of your home environment, private life, and is also about the sleeping. So the house of the planet of work, Saturn, comes into the house of rest. So it makes you restless all the time. It doesn't allow you to take a rest. It doesn't allow you to sleep early. It challenges all these things. Okay, so these are the things. And you would see that the fifth lord is conjunct with Saturn and is aspecting the 10th house. Even better. Okay, so now what are the other lagnas? We did 5, 6, 7. We did 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 1. So what else? Wall Wall revolver. I hope I pronounced it right. Thanks. Namaste. Okay. So Lisa, do you have any question around Scorpio Ascendant? Please share it if you have. Vishnu, did you get the answer to your question? Like we discussed about the how you are supposed to check the dasha. Please let me know. Now let's go to the Taurus Ascendant. Now it's exactly opposite to the Scorpio. Now it's exactly opposite to the Scorpio. Scorpions are having the fourth house Sun and Saturn. Now Taurus have the 10th house Sun and Saturn. And Sun is ruling the fourth house, but if you look at the Sun is getting a strength into the 10th house. Sun gets the strength into the 10th house. And Saturn gets the strength in the 10th house because it is ruling the ninth and the 10th and is in the 10th house. So, though it is Asta, though it is combust, you would still feel the rise in your career. You would feel you are always worked up during this period. You will always feel that you have some uh, constant work is going on. Okay, so someone is asking, shall we consider our moon chart for, you mean you are Leo moon, then you would consider the Leo ascendant? Yeah, you can do that, but usually you can always look for those ascendant. Right now we're talking about the ascendants. Okay, so now let's move to the Sagittarius Ascendant. Let's look at the Sagittarius Ascendant. So for Sagittarius Ascendant, this conjunction is happening in the third house and is ruling the ninth house. The ninth lord conjunct with the second lord and the third lord. So what it shows is, it shows a time to put in effort. Shows you would have to work, because third house is the house of self effort. Saturn is the planet of work, and uh, sun is also the planet of work, doing things, is an assertive and royal planet. So what it shows is, it shows you how to constantly work. The third house is also about your communication. So you might face some challenges with respect to the communication. What is this question? When predicting the transit, which give more impact, Lagna or moon sign? See, usually when we consider transits, it's mostly both, because the Lagna give you an understanding about the concrete things in your life, about health, career, all these things. And moon gives you an idea about how you feel about it. Let's say, even if you are going through and have a great transit, but how do you feel about this? Okay, so you should always consider it. But the most important transit, which is the Saturn's transit, which is Sadesati, is considered with the moon's placement. Okay, because it burdens the moon, the mind, the decision maker, right? So that's why usually I prefer to uh, use the moon uh, ascendant. Okay, it's a very good question. So now let's. So do you have any question with respect to the Sagittarius ascendant or Scorpio ascendant? Please share. Yes, that's what we discussed, right? That if you have a moon consideration, you can use it. But usually combustion is an astronomical phenomenon, and is always have to be considered with it has to be considered with the lagna more than anything. Now, Leo ascendant, Jupiter retro, Sun, Saturn, Mercury conjunction in 10th house, Taurus. I think we talked about this. Okay, now let's talk about the Capricorn ascendant. Now you would see that this Sun and Saturn are going through the second house. Okay, so second house is the eighth lord is in the second house with the Lagna lord. Now here has become interesting. The eighth lord and the ascendant lord is conjunct with the second lord. Now eighth lord is a planet which is the house, the most malefic house. Second house is also the Maraka house, and ascendant is the most benefic house. Okay, now all these three planets are into the second house, and what it does is, second house is all about the things which you value. And when you have Sun and Saturn conjunct there, and Saturn is combust there, what it shows is, it will make you take care of your own stuff more. You will become like a person who wants to take care of their things, because second house of is the house about things which we value more than anything else. Okay, accumulation is nothing but the things which we value more and more. Okay, And now let's move to the Aquarius Ascendant. This becomes interesting here. Now, Sun and Saturn is, I think we discussed this, right? Because this is exactly mirroring the Leo Ascendant. Now, here with Sun and Saturn in the first house, ruling the seventh house, okay, and Saturn is, the Sun is ruling the seventh house, and Saturn is ruling the 12th house. So the 12th lord conjunct with the ascendant, conjunct with the seventh house in the first house. So what it shows is, it shows some actions, and it also shows some fears around the self identity. Okay, you might feel that you need to explore yourself more. You may not be able to express yourself better because of the restriction of Saturn around the self, which is ascendant, the first house, as well as the sun, which is again s- a self-defining factor. Okay, so now let's go into the, okay, so now you would see that sun and Saturn are ruling the 11th, 12th, and the 6th house. Okay, but again, this sun is creating a Viprit Raj Yoga by sixth lord going to the 12th house. Okay, and it is also this 11th lord going into the 12th house. Okay, so whenever you have Saturn and Sun in 12th house, what it shows is, it shows the person's struggle for the self identity. The first house is the self, 12th house is the loss of the self. And that's where the struggle and challenges are going on during this 33 days. So this person will be constantly going through certain dilemmas of their own about the self. They are not able to give away and give up their self. Okay, so these are important. Did we consider the Cancer Ascendant, or have we missed the Cancer Ascendant? Let me just check that. Let me go to the fourth, and then it goes to right. No, we didn't. Now, now you would see that Saturn is ruling the sixth house, Sun is ruling the second house, and is going into this eighth house. And eighth house is about the hidden things, and Saturn is about the darkness. So these people would be in isolation. This eighth house is, the sun is about the self, Saturn is about the isolation, eighth house is about the hidden things. So these people would be working on their secret project during this time. They will be working on themselves. They will be disciplined, and taking efforts towards something secret. Okay, and this project will come out when they will have an association with the ninth house. Okay, maybe when this Saturn will move to the next Rashi. Okay, so what was the question? Harsh, mine Taurus Ascendant, Jupiter Saturn conjunct in the 12th, both are retrograde and Saturn are debilitated also. Yes, what about this? Okay, guys, so do you have any question? Please share your questions. Okay, and if you want to, if you if you still have any question or doubt around this topic, please put your please put your um, please put your comments under the comment section. And if any one of you can make the timestamp for this, please email me that timestamp. I'll be happy to put it for people who want to watch it afterwards. Okay. And if you want to learn Vedic astrology, join my 33 days Vedic astrology bootcamp. It's a great way to create your own astrology profile and create your own uh, it's a great way to start your journey into Vedic astrology. Okay, you will get access to it for lifetime. You can learn it at your own pace. Okay, so yes, this was Saturn and Sun conjunction for all the ascendants. Okay, so yes, sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations, sending you love and peace energy. Namaste. Keep smiling.